that is crazy.
How you feel?
All right. But we got our second chance in overtime. Even though we didn't play like we deserved it, but we knew it was gonna take an opportunity to figure it out. That was a hell of a win.
Good fight. Thank you.
7 more to go.
I'm seeing it. That's right. Give him the. He gets free. Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the three to tie the game.
Jaylen not only hit the big shot, he got that deflection to give you guys the opportunity there. Just the night that Jaylen had to give you guys that kind of chance to win.
It's simple. Big time players make big time plays. That was a hell of a shot he made. The deflection to give us an opportunity to make that shot. Jrue Holiday played unbelievable tonight on both ends of the floor. D. White as well. This was the definition of a team win.
And then the one on the left wing with Holiday in overtime. Just what have you seen from the physical? Obviously, Drew's a very physical defender. What did you kind of see from him in game one? How you need to attack it, or what you can do with that going forward?
Yeah, I mean, he's the best defender in the NBA. He has been for a long time. I was trying to get him as far to the left wing as I could so I could come downhill to my right. And I had the spin to set it up, and I just dribbled it off my foot. So it's unfortunate. It's frustrating for sure, but it happens. We make mistakes. We're human. And I'll learn from it, and I'll be better in game two.
Well, I love the way our guys fought in this game. This loss is totally on me. With 10 seconds in regulation, we should have just taken the timeout, advanced the ball, and found a way to get it in and made a free throw or two and ended the game. But it didn't happen, and we made some other mistakes, but our guys just need to concentrate on fighting the way they fought in this game from start to finish, and we'll be back Thursday.
The Boston Celtics are up 2-0 on the Pacers, and in Game 2, it was such a convincing win as opposed to how Game 1 ended. Game 1, there was an overtime involved, and that final score was 133-128, and the Pacers just looked like they were fighting in there, and they looked like they legitimately had a shot of stealing home court advantage from the Celtics. But in Game 2, following Tyrese Haliburton, a slight injury, the Celtics were able to handle the Pacers, and the final score was 126-110. So in this video, I'll just be looking at both Game 1 and Game 2. I was thinking about making a video after Game 1 ended, but I felt like it was only the first game, and we would have missed a lot of things if I had made that video, and I would have instantly regretted it because I initially thought that the Indiana Pacers were going to go ahead and equalize. But after Game 2, I just found it fitting. Let me just go ahead and just give my thoughts in there and just vent on what is going on. So Jason Tatum in Game 1, he scored 36 points, and Jaylen Brown has just been sensational. He's coming off a 40-point performance in Game 2, as I'm going to mention moving forward in this video. But he hit a very clutch three to send the Celtics to overtime in Game 1, and the Celtics were able to be the team that was the most clutch, and they scored 16 points in overtime to Indiana's 11, having that final score tally of 133-128.
And then just how big were the vets in this game, Al Horford and Jrue Holiday, for you guys?
Yeah, Jrue was fantastic. Jrue was exceptional, man. Shout out to Jrue. Jrue came out and balled, man. He's the reason why we won this game. I think he just was poised. He took advantage of his matchups. He just was so elite, and that is a lot. And he's guarding Haliburton, picking him up, chasing him around. Like that was special from Jrue Holiday. And now, being able to come out, knock down shots, make some big plays at the rim. Those two guys were great for us tonight.
It looked like the game was lost there at the end, and a lot of people in the arena thought so. What does it take for you guys to continue to believe, even with 10 seconds left and you need a three, to go out there and execute and make those plays to win?
I mean, welcome to the NBA playoffs. You just got to manage your emotions of the game. Anything can happen. The game is not over until the final whistle, the final buzzer sounds. And that was a good example of that. We was able to turn them over a little bit towards the end. One with Halliburton on the sideline, and I was able to get the deflection off of Siakam that just extended the game. And it's not over till it's over. And we found a way to win this game at the very end.
Drew, on the Jalen three, what did you see, and what type of look did you have in regard to seeing him in the corner there?
I saw Jalen wide open. Sometimes plays like that, it's kind of hard because you got to see both sides simultaneously sometimes. But saw one side and looked the other side, and Jalen was wide open, so just kind of had to lead him to the corner, and that's a great shot. He pretty much did everything.
So it was game one. A lot of things happened in game one, and this is the game that dictates who starts off well, because you could see the grueling game that the Minnesota Timberwolves had against the Denver Nuggets in game 7. Things came to roost as the Minnesota Timberwolves got beat at their home floor by the Dallas Mavericks in the West Finals, which I'm going to make a video talking about that. Still waiting for that game too. But the Celtics have not skipped a beat, and I must say the Celtics had some time off, considering the fact that the Pacers and Knicks series went and played all 7 games, so they had a few days to just get their fresh legs in. And the Celtics have just taken advantage of the fact that the Pacers, they are on their last. Their legs are short. The players don't look the same as they did in the Knicks series, because they poured the whole kitchen sink in that series. I was able to come back from a 3-2 deficit and and upset the Knicks and go ahead to make the East Finals. But looking at the way the Celtics are, there's a high likelihood that this series is going to be a very short one. If the Celtics are able to go up 3-1 on these Indiana Pacers, it's just going to be a series like the one we saw with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Miami Heat, because there was no resistance from the other 2 rounds that the Celtics have played in. And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have shown that they are a very good tandem. The big problem and the issue that I had with Jaylen Brown was the fact that in that game 7, not that game 7, but that game 5, I don't know why I'm saying game 7, but anyway, in that game 5 against the Cavs, he was a no-show. He only had a measly 11 points, and honestly, I was very skeptical. But Jason Tatum is that guy. He scored 36 points, including 10 in overtime after Jaylen Brown's 3-pointer, which tied the game at the 6.1 mark before regulation. And the Celtics rallied and finished off the Indiana Pacers in overtime. And Jrue Holiday added a season-high 28 points, and Brown finished with 26. So when Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown are able to cooperate and have this type of output, there is no way the Celtics lose, because majority of the time you expect your stars to always show up, especially in the playoffs. We have seen a couple of inconsistencies when it comes to Jaylen Brown, but if he's able to maintain the same productivity and maintain the same production, there's a high likelihood that the Celtics will go ahead and even win it all and win the championship, because Jaylen Brown's performance is very vital and it's very crucial. And this is a very good start for the Boston Celtics, because right now, as I said, with a pretty 2-0 record, they're turning things around and it's not looking like last year when they were down 0-2 to the Miami Heat. But anyway, so the whole situation that the Boston Celtics have put themselves in is to show the league and also show the NBA world that they are the real deal and they're headed for that finals. They're only 2 wins away from the NBA finals. And looking at how the Pacers are, and if Tyrese Halliburton is questionable, because I saw a post somewhere just showing and detailing how injured he was, and I'm not sure if this guy is going to be able to come back, because right now as we speak, he left the game and he did not even return to game 2 because of leg soreness, and the Pacers announced that mid-game. And at that point, I just knew the series might be over, because if the Pacers are not able to defend home court and the Celtics able to steal either game 3 or game 4 and go up 3-1, I don't think the Celtics are going to blow a 3-1 lead if they go back and play in the TD Garden, because they've done a specific thing, especially when it comes to defending home court. So Jaylen Brown, he had a couple of things to say. So he said, welcome to the NBA playoffs. You've just got to manage your emotions. Anything can happen. And it's not over until the final buzzer sounds. If it's not over until it's over. We found a way to win the game at the very end. So you can see Jaylen Brown is locked in. And that 3 gave them some life, and they're able to fight for their home court advantage, because at some point I felt like the Pacers are going to win that game. But because the Celtics are the number 1 team in the league, especially with the way they finished off with a 64-win season, something that very few teams, only a handful of teams have been able to amass 60-plus wins in a season. That is something that is very much commendable. But guarding against complacency was also on the mind of Tatum. The Celtics have lost game 2 in each of their previous 2 series. So it doesn't prove anything. At the time, that's what Jason Tatum said. We won a big-time game. The series is far from over. So Tyrese Haliburton in game 1, he had 25 points and 10 assists for the Pacers, who knocked down 13 three-pointers and scored 56 points in the paint against the Celtics. Team still playing without Kristaps Porzingis. Even without Porzingis, even with Porzingis being hurt and being sidelined, the Celtics still are a dominant force. But Boston dialed up his defense, finishing with 11 steals each by Brown and Tatum and Holiday. The Celtics became the first team in NBA playoff history to have 3 players record 25 points and 3 steals in a game. So the Celtics are just a record-breaking team, and they just keep making history and keep showing the league that they're nobody to play with. The Celtics were cold for most of the game from 3-point range, but ended the night with 15 of 45 beyond the arc. So that 3-point shooting, they really, really struggle at that. But I was so happy to see the Celtics go ahead and win the game. We kept talking about protecting home court. So Al Horford came out and said, and also added, it's whatever it takes. Pascal Siakam, the Pacers acquired him in the trade deadline. He had 24 points and 12 boards. Miles Turner finished with 23 points and 10 rebounds for the 6th-seeded Pacers, who turned it around over with a 3-point lead in the final 30 seconds of regulation. So the Pacers are still fighting, but you could see the determination of the Celtics and the experience that the Celtics had, because the Pacers they never won a series since 2014, and this is their first go-around where they made it all the way to the East Finals. And I don't think that they have the experience to go ahead and beat a Boston Celtics team who are right now at the moment up 2-0. Brown made them pay for the second one, hitting a 3 from the corner of Siakam right in his face to tie it at 117. But that defense that Siakam put there was just weak, because at least he would have at least fouled him and sent him to the line or something, because you cannot just let a guy like Jaylen Brown go ahead and shoot it, because he's a streaky shooter, and they actually thought that he's going to lose it and he's not going to be able to score it. But man, that gamble was just bad. So Drew made a pass, Derek White set a great screen, and the rest is history. So Jaylen Brown, he said that Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla liked the poise Brown showed. So he also came out and said Jaylen had great balance, great pass, great shot. Pacers coach Rick Carlisle said the loss was totally on me. He said it totally on me for not calling a timeout to advance the ball before that turnover that set up the Jaylen Brown shot. So asked about the 21 turnovers Indiana committed, Tyrese Haliburton said many of them were preventable. So Tyrese Haliburton said, I think it's more on us. I just felt more of them were probably on us than them forcing them turnovers. So the Celtics are now 2-2 when the opponent scored 100 points or more. So Drew Holiday said the Celtics never panicked after falling behind in regulation. So he came out and said, I think we are always I think we always knew that there's always a chance. We've seen crazy stuff happen all the time. I don't think that we think we lost the game until we actually lost the game, and that's part of the reason why we are so resilient. So the Indiana Pacers at the time, after game one, they were down. They were down bad, and in game two, it was no different, as the Celtics went ahead and won this game 126 to the Pacers 110.
It's a blessing to step out on the floor each and every night. I don't take that for granted. So I keep that in perspective, regardless of, what's being said or whatever the narrative or the discourse is around me. I just come out and try to add value on both sides of the floor. And I feel like, when it comes to that, there's not a lot of people better in this league. So I just come out and take it one game at a time. And right now we got 2 home games and we're looking for the next one.
Coach, you haven't lost in Gainbridge Fieldhouse since March. How will going home be a good reset for this team and have confidence that you can get 2 wins at home?
Well, in the New York series, we were down 0-2 and came home and were able to win game 3 and then, move along and do what we wanted to do. For us right now, we've got to concentrate on getting back as quickly as we can tonight. And preparing ourselves for our best possible effort on Saturday night. And I know that our building will be as loud and live as it's ever been. It's race weekend and everything else going on. And so we got to take advantage of that. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it will be a better environment for us than playing here for sure.
Jalen obviously had a monster night. What did you see from him?
Just making the right play. Poise, patience, discipline, the proper actions, getting to the right spacing, and just picking and choosing his spots really well, whether it was in transition or in the half court. So it just continues to get better and better. Takes a lot of pride in his ability to impact the game in different ways, and I thought he did that tonight.
40 points for JB, obviously heroics at the end of game 1 in this postseason. And wholly, obviously, he's raised his level. What have you seen from him, and how motivated do you feel he is at this point?
I mean, he has it going, and y'all see what I see. Great player, great leader, but wants to win and takes things into his own hands. So having a guy like that on my side, I love it. I'll ride for him, and whatever I can do to obviously get that win is needed. But the way JB's been playing, man, is outstanding.
Jason, 40 points for Jalen tonight after his heroics in game 1. What have you seen from him throughout the course of this postseason? How has his game evolved in your view?
I think, the game is just slowing down for him more and more, finding ways to be effective, still while making the right play. And, just being himself, when we need him to.
And things right now just look so bleak for the Indiana Pacers, because Jaylen Brown, he had a very, very huge performance, and he matches his career playoff high with 40 points, leading the Celtics to a 2-0 lead in these East Finals, and there's no stopping Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown is able to consistently play like this, there's a high likelihood that they might be able to even go ahead and win the finals. Because right now, as we speak, the Celtics are running on full cylinders. I don't want to see them fall off the wagon. And considering the fact that the main star for the Indiana Pacers in Tyrese Haliburton has knee soreness, I must say that Knicks versus Pacers series took a lot out of that Pacers team. And getting back to how they were able to play at that level with the Knicks, I don't think they are prepared for the Celtics, because they'll suffer the same fate. But anyway, it is what it is. So Jaylen Brown was a big enough problem for the Indiana Pacers, even before the All-NBA snub, that may have given him an added desire to show how much he can do for the Boston Celtics. So the All-NBA teams came out. Jaylen Brown wasn't there. You saw Jason Tatum there, but Jaylen Brown wasn't there. But anyway, some things happen and they just motivate the players to play well. Because at some point a few years ago, we saw Klay Thompson being snubbed from the All-NBA teams, and he said he'd rather go to the finals and win the championship than being on an All-NBA team. So yeah, it is what it is. So Coach Joe Mazzulla, he also had something to add. He said, I think he cares about it in a way that motivates him. And I think he doesn't really care about it at all. So Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla said that after watching Jaylen Brown's match, his playoff career high 40 points in Boston's 126-110 victory over Indiana in Game 2 of the East Finals. So Joe Mazzulla, he also came out and said he understands that winning is the most important thing. He just cares about the right stuff. So he's just talking about Jaylen Brown. And that performance just shut a lot of people's mouths because the NBA mainstream media, you can see, even with the Celtics' dominant performance, they're not even getting the same equal treatment and equal coverage when it comes to people talking about them, because I feel like the way the Celtics made it to the East Finals, a lot of people are taking it for granted because they beat the Miami Heat that lacked the productivity of Jimmy Butler. They went ahead and beat a depleted Cavs team that didn't have the three best superstars at the remainder of the games in Game 4 and Game 5. So the Celtics are not getting as much credit for these wins because majority of the time you're seeing a lot of media coverage that went to the Wolves and Nuggets, Knicks and Pacers, the Dallas Mavericks versus OKC, but people forgot about the Boston Celtics. And also, not to mention, the Celtics were the first team to make it to the conference finals. So they don't even acknowledge that, and they were just waiting on to see the other teams, how they're going to perform. But anyway, the Celtics, it's high time to give them flowers. So 2 nights after his game-saving three-pointer, and 1 day after he was left out of the voting of the league's top 15 players, Brown scored 10 points during a 20-0 Boston run that turned a first quarter deficit into a second quarter lead, and the Celtics never stopped. So with the sheer snub that Jaylen Brown experienced and the disrespect that the Boston Celtics have been facing, he just took it personal. He just continued. So, and Jaylen Brown is also asked about the All-NBA snub, and he said, he talked about it and said, I wouldn't say that he doesn't want to say that he was snubbed, so I wouldn't say that. And we are 2 games from the finals. I don't got time to care. So he just said that colorfully. So it is what it is. I mean, NBA mainstream media are the ones who vote for these players, and if they have a bias for the players they like and the players they don't like. So it is what it is. So Jason Tatum and Derek White scored 23 points apiece, and Jrue Holiday had 15 points and 10 assists for the top-seeded Celtics, who lost Game 2 in both of their previous postseasons in the conference finals. So they've had a very rough start because they've been meeting the Miami Heat for the past 3 postseasons. But anyway, the Celtics won one, the Miami Heat went and won last year. But this time, all roads just show the Celtics will make the finals, and the Celtics, this is their year to go ahead and get over that championship hump. So Pascal Siakam, he scored 28 points for Indiana, which heads home for Game 3 and Game 4 on Saturday and Monday nights, with an arena where they've won 11 straight, also including 6 in the playoffs since March 18th. So Tyrese Haliburton, who had 25 points and 10 assists in the series opener, had 10 points and 8 assists Thursday before leaving the game in the third because of that knee soreness I was talking about. So Pacers coach Rick Carlisle said Haliburton's injury is due to his left hamstring, the same injury that kept him out for 10 games in January. So there's a huge concern if he's going to be able to get back and come back. So we need Ty, but next man mentality. Pascal Siakam said, he also added, we've got to play together. This team got to where we are by playing together. It's on us to continue. So how will the Pacers respond when they defend home floor without their best player? Because if Tyrese Haliburton's injury, it gets serious, there might be a chance that he's going to be sidelined for a couple of weeks. And that just tips the scales for the series. So 1 game after the Celtics jumped to a 20-0 lead and Indiana spent the rest of the half clawing its way back, the lead changed hands 10 times in the opening quarter, with the Pacers holding a 27-22 edge with 1:14 left. the Boston scored the next 20 points. So Indiana missed 9 straight shots and committed 4 turnovers during the drought that lasted more than 6 minutes. Brown scored 10 of his own during the run and had 24 at the half. He opened the third quarter with 2 quick baskets to give the Celtics a 61-52 lead. So with that drought, the Celtics were able to capitalize on their mishaps and their inability, the Pacers' inability to score. But Siakam also came out hot in the second half, hitting 4 baskets in the first 4 minutes, a pair of 2s and a pair of 3s to make it a 2-point game. Boston pulled away, this time for good, scoring 16 of the next 21. So Indiana never got within single digits again. So Jaylen Brown, he scored 26 points Tuesday night, where the Celtics won thanks to some unforced error by the Pacers, especially Haliburton. Down the stretch on Wednesday, Brown was left off the NBA All-NBA teams. Last year's selection to the second team qualified him for a 5-year Supermax extension, and he got snubbed. I must say, Jaylen Brown has been sensational, but the reason as to why I feel like he does not get the credit or even like gets snubbed in some things is because of sometimes his inconsistency. And if he's able to just fix that, I must say he's just going to go up there and be that 1-2 punch with Jason Tatum. And the sky's the limit for that guy. And they have the ability to go ahead and win it all this season because the league right now is just wide open. The Pacers, I don't think they're a threat. And if the Boston Celtics can be able to sweep the Pacers, that is something that can be good because without Tyrese Haliburton playing because of like that aggravated left hamstring, there's a high likelihood that the Celtics can easily just go ahead and sweep the Indiana Pacers if they keep the same productivity, because you've seen a couple of stretches where the Indiana Pacers were not able to even muster up or even conjure up some good offense, and it is what it is. They're not able to do anything. So Jrue Holiday, he came out and said, he has it going. He's talking about Jaylen Brown. You all see what I see: great player, great leader, but wants to win and takes things into his own hands. So I'm glad to have him on my side. I ride with him. The way JB's been playing, man, it's outstanding. So Jrue Holiday just, putting on some flowers to his teammate, a guy that has shown that he's a bona fide superstar. After signing that Supermax extension in the $300 million range, a lot of people were very, very skeptical, especially with the Celtics not being able to make the finals after Game 7. And right now, all Jaylen Brown needs to do is just keep being consistent and keep producing such performances, because this is when the lights shine the brightest. That's when the players just come out and play well. So, this is just going to be an entertaining series. I feel like even with the entertainment you're seeing, I don't think it's just going to be that long, because we're used to seeing series even play out 7 games. We've seen 3 Game 7s being played. The first Game 7 was between the Cavs and the Orlando Magic, went to Game 7. We saw the Wolves versus Nuggets went to Game 7. Knicks versus Pacers went to Game 7. All these players who play out all these teams and players who play out all Game 7s, their legs don't look the same. As you can see, as per recording of this video, the Mavs are up 1-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves just got tired a bit, and they need a couple of days to be able to recover. And hopefully, the Pacers are going to be able to look good in Game 3 as they defend home court. But the likelihood is there's a chance that the Celtics can even go up 3-0 if the Pacers are not able to get things together. So hopefully the Celtics could just go ahead and make this series interesting, as they can be able to even go ahead and sweep or even give the Pacers a gentleman's sweep. But I'm more concerned with how the Pacers are going to look moving forward. But my favorites to make it out of this series are the Celtics, because number one, they're the best team in the NBA. They have the best record. They're the number 1 seed in the entire NBA, and they have a likelihood of just going out there, even making the finals and winning it all. So it is what it is. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments. What you think about this? Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.
What does it mean to you to make the All-NBA team in a third straight year? How gratifying is that after all the work that you put in?
I mean, it's special. It's something I strive to do, that I expect, but it's nothing I take for granted. It's an honor to be on first team All-NBA. So many talented guys in this league. The talent just gets better and better each and every year. So I'm very fortunate to make that team again. I'm thankful for everybody that has helped me along the way. Success is not something that you can achieve by yourself. So, it's a lot of people that deserve credit in helping me get to where I'm at.
Battle. We got 1-0. A lot of work to do. A lot to improve on. Let's get it.
Big win, on to the next. On to the next. Get ready for game 2. Go Seas. Let's go.